Hey everybody, it's David. Yeah, I missed the video last week, making a video for a very good reason. I was in the hospital. So I thought this would be an excellent time to do a new video on why retire now, your health. Are you ready? Let's talk about it. Hey everybody, it's David at David in Progress, where we talk about financial independence, retiring early, and living your best life now from the perspective of someone that's out there in the world actually doing those things. Thank you so much for watching. So quick, let me give you a little bit of background in case you didn't see my video from last month. Back on July 2nd, I had quintuple heart bypass surgery. So that's basically 5 bypasses. Well, unfortunately, I learned very recently that 3 of those 5 did not work. And last week I was at cardiac rehab walking on a treadmill, and suddenly a bunch of people showed up around my treadmill, and turned out I was having a bit of a heart issue. They sent me to the heart hospital ER, and I ended up having a stent put in later that day with plans to put in some additional stents as we move forward. Now, back in the 90s, there were these fantastic posters that were so popular. These posters that said teamwork at the bottom. And maybe you had a bunch of people rowing a boat together, or some other motivational message. I'll never forget, there was this site, despair.com. I'll put a link to it down in the description here, where they have opposites of those. And one of my favorite is one of a ship sinking. And the ship sinking, and the caption underneath says mistakes. And mistakes. It could be that the purpose of your life is only to serve as a warning to others. And that is the great thing about people like me and others that are doing YouTube videos, writing books or articles, who are experiencing these things, is that maybe, I don't want to frame it into mistake, it's just lessons that we are learning that perhaps it can be a warning to you or a lesson to you, that we are serving you in a way through the experiences we have in our lives. And it's that way in my life too, in my current situation. You know, in this, I started thinking about, while I was at the hospital, I went into a bit of a rat hole thinking about lasts that I've experienced in the last couple of years. One of them being running the San Francisco Marathon with my wife. What a fantastic experience we had there. We went and traveled there, never been there, and we ran the marathon, and I started thinking, wow, wouldn't it be great if we could retire early and just travel around the country running marathons? Well, I haven't run that far since, and I'm not running at all right now. And then I think about the last really long bike ride I did. It was actually during COVID, when there were few cars out in the street. And I rode 70 miles that day, and it was a beautiful spring day in Oklahoma. Cool weather, light winds, and I was so excited about achieving that 70-mile ride. I think about a couple years ago when I did my last duathlon. That's where you run and you bike and you run again. And for the first time in my life, I won. I won my age group, which was terrific. And then I think about the last mountain bike race I did. And in that one, I finished second to last. But I had such a terrific time competing and being with those people. It was so great. And so there are many physical things that I did in just the last couple of years that I'm finding myself now that I cannot do. And it got me caught up in that world of lasts. And I think for you and a lot of people, as we go through life, often we are cognitive, we're aware of our lasts, but usually we're not. There are things that we do in this certain period in life that we will not be able to do later. And it can be an activity like those that I mentioned, but it can also be a time with a person, you know, a loved one, someone that you care about that is here now, but maybe not here later. So this is part of my lesson to you. Now, here at this channel, we talk about financial independence, retiring early, and we also talk about living your best life now. I'm also a cancer survivor, if you watched my video on that. And that is one of the great takeaways I took 25 years ago, is that on my journey, the journey to financial independence, I was not going to wait to do the first. That I was still going to have adventures. I was going to live my best life now, even then. And I was not going to wait until that end point. So a lot of people, as we think about retirement, we think about financial independence, we pile up goals first that we want later. And that is great. I hope that you have a vision of what your life would be like once you do that walk away from work or once you achieve financial independence. At the same time, in our journey, we have to make sure that we find the first, we embrace them, we recognize them, and also understand that that first might also be a last. So yes, I have those things behind me. I doubt if I'll run a marathon again. I don't know. Maybe I'll do some of those other things again. However, I have a big pile of firsts that my wife and I are still headed towards. And I even in this situation have firsts that we are going to do now. No, I can't go out and ride the bike 70 miles. What I can do, because I'm financially independent, and what I have done is we bought e-bikes. So now with less stress on us physically, we can go out and ride e-bikes, and that is going to be a fantastic experience together. No, I can't right now go and climb a mountain and hit a peak. However, I can find, and we have found, some fantastic flat trails that we are going to be able to do together. So my call to action to you is to live your best life now, to find those things and do them now. And don't wait for tomorrow. Don't get so focused on the retiring early, or just the retirement part, that you don't do those things. Along the way, make sure you do focus on the FI, the financial independence, so when the surprise comes, you are ready. And if the surprise doesn't come, you are also ready. Either way, you are prepared for whatever life throws at you now. So that's it. That is the update. I'll get back on track with some other videos coming up soon. I hope that you stick around. I thank you so much for being part of my channel and being part of my journey. And I'd like to hear from you. What are some of those first that you have planned? Down in the comments, tell me a couple of big rock goals that you have for when you reach financial independence. What will you do? Just as importantly, tell me a couple of things that you're doing now that are exciting, that you are excited about, even though you are still on your FI journey. I would so love to hear from you. Thank you for watching. The best thing you can do if you've watched this video, if you haven't done it already, is subscribe to my channel, and let's be part of this community. Thank you for being part of David in Progress.